So this conversation that I want to have is for those parents who feel that they're being attacked. Those parents who feel like I'm trying to protect my child's innocence and I don't know what to do because everybody is against me because I haven't conformed and changed my mindset to what's hot and what's not. Now, would you let your 11-year-old son come home and start shooting heroin? No, you wouldn't. But you will allow your 11-year-old son to come home and take beta blockers and hormone enhancer, which is the side effects 15 times greater than heroin itself. See, you can't drink until you're 21. You can't drive until you're 16 or 18. You can't go into the army until a certain age. But now you're telling me a 12-year-old child has the mindset capacity to make life-altering decisions. If I told you 10 years ago, in 2002 or 12, that from 10 years from now, your children at the age of 11, 12, and 13 will be able to cut off their genitals, take all these blockers, you would say I was from the moon. That's not going to happen.
Right.
That's impossible. And yet here we are. If I told you 10 years ago in kindergarten now, a part of the curriculum is to teach your children this free love kind of shit, you would also say I was crazy. But here we are, Malcolm. So now I'm making a prediction. 10 years from now, 2032, whatever the case may be, you can be walking into the supermarket with your little 8-year-old daughter and a grown man can approach her. And if he likes her, they can get that thing popping. You'll say to him, just be gentle with her. Now think about what I'm saying. Before you say I'm from the moon, think about what just transpired over the last 20. Listen, the maps are coming. You know what I'm saying? The minor, all of this attractive, minor attractive persons, they are grooming your children now from kindergarten on up. Now, the first 7 years of a child's life is critical because that's when they get the greatest input. You can teach kids 2 and 3 languages. I can put a keyboard in front of a 2-year-old. By the time he's 7, he could damn near be a genius. So do not tell me you don't program your children. We all program our children.
Yeah.
So if I'm programming my children with this all, as long as they gentle with you, he just loves you and all of that. By the time they get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they are already indoctrinated into and being groomed for minor attractive persons, because the final step of this craziness are the pedophiles.
That is it.
Final step. Well, there's another step. I'm not even going to gross you out beyond that. But that one right there, that's the one. And remember, I told you, every time they take a stand, they never retreat. They never go backwards. So they'll take a stand. We say shit like, that's fucked up. That shit shouldn't be happening. We got to do something. They take all of those shots in the face, but they never go backwards.
Because the algorithm moves.
And right, the algorithm, and then they move a little forward. And it's almost like in the 60s during the civil rights movement, when we decided we were going into them restaurants and we were not budging, that was a military tactic. They was spitting on us, throwing all kind of shit at us, and they held them black people, they held each other's hands, and they held the line. These people will not retreat. So 10 years from now, what you think is impossible is going to be common, because we already seeing the shit happening now.
And some one of the children hospitals, they are recommending that parents have sex in front of their kids so they understand their bodies.
You see what I'm saying?
You get what I'm saying? One of the children's hospitals. I don't want to say it's the Boston church. They doing some wild stuff too, but one of those hospitals.
They are grooming your children for what's next.
There was a drag show in New York City in front of kids.
Yes.
In front of kids, like of all ages. And then their parents, sick parents, like giving money to the kids to give to the drag show.
Yes.
Like it's.
So I'm not talking to those parents. Those are the ones who have accepted that's fine. I'm talking to the ones who are fighting for the innocence of their children. Now, I want to also throw a couple of other factors in before I give you my final prognosis. We got to look at the food. We got to look at the what your DNA can be altered.
Oh yeah.
Right? So when we start looking at, because I'm 54 years old, this was not something common when I was a kid at this rate and what you're seeing. So obviously some things have been taking place. Fauci been in office since 84. He ran the FDA. They allow all kind of food additives. He's the one who opened the door for all of these. You used to get 3 vaccines as a kid. Now you get 47 of them. What the hell is going on? And do not tell me this is not altering, your mindset. So when a child says, I feel like I'm a girl, but I feel like a boy, or I'm a boy and I feel like a girl, first of all, that's impossible. You have to have a reference point to know what a girl feels like.
Yeah.
To say you feel, so basically you're saying you feel different. There's an imbalance in your estrogen or testosterone, but don't say you feel like a girl because you don't know what the fuck a girl feels like.
And what's happening, I don't want to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
What's happening too is at a lot of schools, they are basically coaching kids to say what they want them to say.
Right. This is what I mean by...
Right. So like your kid will come home randomly. I feel like, what do you mean? You feel like, what does that mean?
Absolutely.
But they'll demonize you to the schools, to see, like, to child services and stuff like that, because they'll make it seem like you
are the one who's out of control.
Yes.
So we do understand. So I want to factor that in for parents who are fighting this with young teens. You got to look at the food. You got to look at the water. You got to look at the music. It's all toxic, and it can change your DNA. Just like maybe 50,000 years ago, we lived in a jungle terrain. Yeah. We live in a concrete jungle now. So do not think your DNA hasn't adjusted to the environment. Take all of that into consideration and you feel out of balance. But don't tell me you feel like a girl, because you don't know what the fuck a girl feel like. Unless we getting ultra deep and we saying from a past life, you was a girl and now you reincarnated as a boy and you still carrying the energy from the... let's put that shit over here. Put that shit here. Okay? And this is a very important conversation. This is what I want you parents to do. And they might cut the show off after that. I don't give a shit.
Black Mass, man, it's time to rock. I had to find a way I couldn't find.
Hey, what's up? If you like what you just saw and you want to see the full, uncut, raw, uncensored podcast, hit the link below. It's only $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. Get all of the content. Get Black Dot in his rawest form. Get a bunch of exclusive content never before seen by anybody else, and you can only be a member to see it.
Become a member now. Click the link below.